Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Chris Hall from the Computers of the Autistic Foundation, giving you a video about our modes of transport, the organic transit ELF. So this video is to promote our GoFundMe page, which we are doing to allow us to raise money to get new batteries and to keep our ELFs up in maintenance and to keep them on the road so that we can teach people about micromobility and alternative modes of transport over the conventional automobile. So what we do for an organization is we use these ELFs to go out and pick up computers from local computer shops, and we go out and we donate computers to children who are autistic and handicapped, and they are older computers that are refurbished, and we convert them over to being Chromebook systems so that kids can do their homework, kids can interact with their friends online, not through gaming, but through social media, and the ability to watch videos for homework or just watch a video just to keep them occupied and everything else like that. So why do we choose this mode of transportation over the most conventional, which is the automobile? Because we want to have something that's unique. We want something that you see drive down the street and be like, oh my God, that thing's so awesome. And we want people to approach us and we want people to ask us questions about what we do for a living. Um, that is why we choose the mode of transportation that we have. If we drove a normal car or drove a normal truck, that wouldn't happen. So for many of you who don't even know what I'm talking about, in the thumbnail, you'll see two of the three that we own, and they are called the Organic Transit ELF, which is a bike car, or the translated word, the real name for it is called a velomobile, which again is called a bike car. It is a recumbent trike, basically, with an enclosed body, which has features such as headlights, blinkers, horns, everything that an automobile may have, except maybe heating and air conditioning and so on. But it is a unique way to get around and pick up devices and so on to help kids that need to. We also use them to go out to electric vehicle events to teach people that there are alternative ways to get around than the conventional automobile. A lot of people out in the world use bikes most of the time, and this is also a great way to get people to be more active and not lazy. These are electric bikes. They are solar pedal hybrids, I should say. And they are a great way to get outside and enjoy yourself and exercise and socialize with other people. So the point of our fundraiser, which is down in the description, is to raise money to get newer batteries, because all of our ELFs were donated to us by individuals who could no longer keep them on their property, those who couldn't maintain them, or for those who could not sell theirs, and they decided to give it to us to work on and get operational again. We want to do a few things if we raise money. First of all, get new batteries. Second of all, have the ability to manufacture parts that may not be available at this time, as the company did file for Chapter 7, and we are looking forward to hoping that they do sell the assets and the tooling and the machinery that made up the ELF, as alongside the manufacturers of the other components of the elf, as a lot of the components of the elf are both custom and available through regular bike manufacturers. All the components that make it a bike, an electric bike, are easily obtainable through bike manufacturers, such as the wheels, the electric motor, the chains, the pedals, anything that allows it to move. But then the electrical component, they have parts that are made from solar companies. The bodies on them are made from a company that makes kayaks and other Trilon products. So they are specifically made by an individual company who has forms that they use to make the body shells out of, as the bodies are made of the same material as a kayak is. As of right now, we have 2 in operation. We are getting our second one nearly ready to be back on the road after an intensive rebuild from having it over the first year. We've only had these since September 27th of 2018, and from September 27th of 2018, we have acquired 2 more of these vehicles over that intensive period of time. One of them is also getting another rebuild as well, because when we received it, it had massive amount of body damage and frame damage. So we are awaiting that to be finished. And then it's mostly putting it back together and obtaining a new rear wheel for that one, as well as a few things on our other one, which was our first one. And, we are hoping to have all 3 back at operation at some point. We are waiting. Everybody who owns one is waiting for the news to hear, the parts are being made by a new company, and we can easily obtain these parts without having to pay high prices for them, because that was the problem with the Organic Transit Elf, was parts were too expensive to replace because they were built in-house by them, and they simply ran out of money because their tooling and everything else was too expensive for them to create these custom parts. So mostly what they did at Organic Transit was they built the frames, they built the chassis, they built the steering, but then it's all pieced together by hand. These are all handmade vehicles, so no one of these are exactly the same, unfortunately. They may all look the same, they all work the same, but individually they're all made differently. So hopefully down the road we will see like a mass production cycle of this product to be made exactly the same. Things are interchangeable and so on. As of right now, the ones that I own are not interchangeable because I actually have the first 3 years of models. So there were changes for every single model, which makes them incompatible with each other. So lately I've been showing videos of our newest elf, which we named, well, we didn't actually name it. We actually kept the name that the original owner kept. We call it Go Mango. Go Mango is a 2FR model, which is a passenger model, which means it has a passenger seat in it, which means you can bring your kid in the back or your friend or whatever. And that is our latest edition, which we have been using mostly at this time. And second of all, our other two are solos. So solos are units that are just single seaters that we have been working on for the past year or so, and we are hoping to get those done. So we want to raise the money to get new batteries for all three so that we have a longer range of motion so that we can go out and pick up computers, and we can also deliver computers to kids who may need one given to them for their education and so on, as well as go out to electric vehicle events so that we can promote our organization so that we can get our word out there and educate people on different ways to get out and enjoy the nice weather and go to work and commute and everything else like that. Again, our GoFundMe is down in the description if anybody wants to check that out. That really would help us. You can find more information about what these vehicles are and so on. Again, it's a little hard for me to describe every little detail because of me being autistic and stuff. So I really want to just say, we could use as much help as we can to get these vehicles back up and running and to make a fleet so that in the future we may have somebody else work alongside us and we have a mode of transport that they can use to get to and from us, as well as picking up equipment for us and to help us go to events, to help educate others and to help kids who are in need and so on. So that's what our goal is, to make a fleet of these machines so that we can show the world that there are more ways to get around than just driving a car. If you're like me, where you don't go very far, you don't leave the state, you don't go on fancy vacations or anything else like that, this is kind of the way that I get around. I don't own a car. Before I owned the Elves, I actually rode normal bikes, three-wheel bikes, to pick up equipment and to get around and go to events and so on. So, it's a whole new thing for us to go out and have people talk to us because they notice these vehicles. So, I feel like I'm not making a lot of sense, but everything that is about our fundraiser is down below and what we're going to be using the money raised for. And we want to be able to get these working, have longer range, and so on. So if anybody out there wants to help an autistic entrepreneur have the ability to help others, that would be great. I'm on Facebook at Computers for the Autistic Foundation. If anybody has any questions about our organization, just keep in mind that we're not an out-of-state organization, meaning we don't donate outside of our state, which is Massachusetts. We sadly can't ship computers out because we're such a low income organization that we can't ship computers out to people who may need them. And a lot of the computers that we get, that you could just simply find them on Craigslist and do what we're doing to them and give it to a child or something like that. You know, what we use isn't just for us to use, it's for everybody to use. It's an open source thing. So again, I'm not great at making videos. Okay. I get really nervous, and I know there's a lot of trolls on YouTube and so on, and I'm just not used to it yet. So I upload a video every here and there. I used to make review videos on a few products that I've gotten over the years from people, from sponsors, but sadly nobody really watches any of the videos that we make. So I'm hoping that people decide to watch this. If they don't, it's whatever. But anyways, if you have $1, $5, whatever, and you want to help a small organization keep up with maintaining their way to get around, or you like weird vehicles, you know, it would definitely help us out. And again, you know, we're in the midst of getting 2 more up and running. As soon as we get parts and stuff, you know, a lot of the parts that we've been getting have been given to us by other people. So, you know, we really want to try and get as much help as we possibly can. Even advice helps us too. So if any of you out there wants to donate, please do. You know, it really would help out. So, alrighty, guys. I really appreciate anybody watching this. If anybody does watch it, help a small organization out. If you want to check out our website, to just search up Computers for the Autistic Foundation, you can see all the information that on what we do for a living for those individuals with autism and other disabilities and so on. So, all right, guys, talk to you later. Peace out for now. Bye-bye.